Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of March 19th through 25th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I'm providing, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Here is a Two of Discs. We're going to put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. And if there is anything that you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments down below. I read every comment, okay? So we're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, and this is a card we're not going to look at until the very, very end of the reading. We're going to leave that right there. And hopefully at the end that'll tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for. Okay, so you do have to stick around till the end, please. So we've got some air, some water, water, some earth and earth. Pretty balanced, right? No fire, but we've got 2, 2, and 2. And on the path of the serpent we have major arcana, earth and water. A lot of earth, a lot of water. There's no fire right now, okay? So it's kind of telling me that with this lack of fire energy that maybe right now is not the time to act. Okay? Maybe that fire has withdrawn inward. Maybe it is time to go home. You know what I mean? Regroup and rest and wait. It's not a time to use this fire. It's not a time to act according to this maybe the impulse that we feel, maybe the anger or the upset that we feel. Well, let's look at these cards. A Two of Discs. So you're somebody who, you know, you don't mind change. You don't mind things shifting around in your life. You don't mind, you know, being transferred to a different department or for things to shift around in your life, as long as you are made aware, first of all, as long as you are shown some kind of respect and consideration, okay? If somebody just pulls the rug out from under you, you're kind of going to get pissed off, right? Understandably. You're someone that, you know, that is very adaptable. You could handle any situation. You could be in any environment if they want to move you to a different department, or if your home life is shifting around, if somebody's moving in, somebody's moving out, if life is changing, if finances are changing, if you're moving, whatever the case is, you're fine with it. You can adapt. You can survive and thrive anywhere, right? What you don't like is feeling that you weren't consulted, feeling like you weren't respected or shown any kind of consideration, okay? So there's a change occurring in your life right now, and it's one that you feel a little surprised by. I'm almost kind of surprised myself we don't have the Fool energy here. I don't think we have the Fool because that would be a situation that's a little bit more frivolous or jolly or, you know, carefree. I think this is pretty serious. You know, I don't think this is a joke. I think that you may even be excited about this change, but you're not going to show it. That could be why we have the absence of the fire cards. You are excited, but you're concealing it. You're putting that away, right? It's like you wish you could be excited. You want to be excited, but now, man, now I can't. You screwed it up for everybody. Now I can't be excited for this because of this kind of disrespect that you feel. I feel like you weren't consulted about it. I feel like nobody kind of asked you what you thought, how you felt. Nobody, it feels like nobody really considered your feelings or what your goals or plans or intentions were here, okay? Now, I don't know if this is something in the workplace or something at home. Honestly, it feels like something at home. But we see a little bit of earth here, more earth over here. We see this major arcana with the justice or adjustment card, thinking maybe it's workplace stuff. I'm still thinking something at home. Something at home is moving around, is shifting, is changing. And I think you really do like it. You think it's a good idea. But nobody asked you, nobody consulted you, nobody wanted to know how it affected you or what your thoughts and feelings were. You feel slighted, you feel disrespected, you feel like you were treated inconsiderately. Okay? And that sucks. That really does. In the recent past, we see a five of cups here. So I think this is the situation that kind of already occurred. Right. I think your feelings were rather hurt by this kind of this inconsideration, this non-consideration, you know. And now I think that maybe this week is when this change is actually taking place. And it's kind of an issue of how you are responding to it, how you're going to act. We don't see the fire energy here. So I feel as if you're not really voicing your opinion. You're not really kind of standing up for yourself or making your opinions or your feelings known. Okay? I feel like rather than that fire energy, your response and reaction to the situation just coming out unchecked, and you've kept it in. You've suppressed it. Okay? Completely, to the point where now the fire's gone. Maybe the mystery card will be some fire. I don't know. I feel like it's gone. I feel like there's a coldness that's really settling over everything right now. Earth and water, two very cold elements. Okay? Two very cold, passive, yielding elements. You know? The good thing is that with the Five of Cups, at least that feeling is going to pass, that upset feeling. Maybe that anger, that hurt, that frustration, that's going to pass. What that's passing into, I think, is kind of an apathy, kind of a coldness. You're not upset, you're not angry anymore. You're kind of just, you're just solid, you're like ice, you're just cold, you know? And I can't say I blame you. Because a change of this magnitude, something that I think, especially with the major arcana on the path of the serpent, feels like a big change. So why weren't you consulted? Why didn't anyone ask you what your thoughts were about it? So in present day, present circumstances, I feel that there's just this kind of icy coldness with you. And I think that the people around you are trying to find out why you're upset or why you're being distant. Why do you feel cold? It's almost as if they don't really, maybe they don't understand what happened or why on earth should you be upset? Or they're just not willing to really admit that or acknowledge that they did all of this without you, that they made these decisions without consulting you, or whatever the exact details are, okay? So they're almost completely ignorant. And there's this breakdown of communication. They're trying to ask you, what's wrong? What's wrong? You're not giving them anything. You're just stone-faced, cold. And that's kind of the stalemate. That's the blockage. That's the impasse that we're at right now. Okay? And that's represented by this Seven of Swords. I do feel like that I feel like you want that to end. You want this thing to just be over. It's just like, it's almost as if your pride or something is just kind of getting in the way of you yielding and just, putting an end to all of this, right? It's almost just like you're not going to be the one to make the first move or to apologize or to anything like that, right? And you shouldn't have to. You can be just as stubborn as they can. But I think you want this thing to thaw out. Okay, you want there to be some warmth and some heat and some love, and you want this to kind of just be done and over with. But you're not going to be the one that's going to rectify the situation. Okay, this card, the Ten of Swords and this Five of Swords from the past, this was the heat, right? The Five of Cups, that was your anger, your frustration. You got kind of hot-blooded over this thing. Well, now that's turned to coldness, okay? So we have these oranges and reds that have changed to like the blues and purples and the dark, cold colors. But up above everything with the Ten of Swords, You want that heat to come back. You want this situation to thaw out and to stuff to start flowing again. You're done. You're ready to be over this. But you're not going to be the one to bring about that change. Okay. As much as we do want everything to kind of go back to the way it was, to be resolved, solved, to be discussed, you're not going to be the one to do it. You are like a block of ice. Okay. 4 of Cups down here at the bottom. You can be rather cold. You can be stubborn. I think that you have taken this situation very personally, and I gotta say that I would too. And you are like a block of ice, and nobody can get through to you. Nobody can penetrate that block of ice. They can, they may chisel away with this 7 of Swords, but they're not going to get through. They're not going to get through until you are really ready to move on from this. And I think that this is like a skill that you have. I think that you really can hold out a lot longer than they can. I think you're typically a very warm person, a very loving person. I think you have a lot of affection for people. You love to take care of people. You love to make other people feel good. You love to be considerate and kind to other people. But they weren't kind or considerate to you, and that hurts. Especially with all of the energy that you're putting into the relationship, into the situation. Again, I don't know if this is work. It feels like it's at home. All of the love and support and care and affection and nurturing that you provide, and then they do something so disrespectful and inconsiderate to you. That doesn't seem right. So you've seized up. You're a block of ice now. And we don't see any fire anytime soon to come and to thaw this thing out. What we do see in the immediate future is this Knight of Discs. The Knights are the fiery aspect of the suit that they're in. So this is the fire of the earth. So that flame is still in there. It's all of that fire that you have, your anger and frustration, but all of your love and warmth as well. It's all frozen inside this figure. And this is the figure, if you look at the overhead, this is the figure that's looking forward, moving away from the situation, moving on, continuing to do the work and do the activities and do the routine and to look into the future and work and all that stuff. You're moving forward. You're not stuck in place. But all of your fire is now hidden deep, deep within you, frozen solid inside. And so it's like this coldness, almost this kind of stoic attitude. And you're going to continue to do the work and make progress and move forward with your life. But all of that warmth and heat is just, it's not gone, but it's not showing, right? It's not showing. Let's move over to the path of the serpent and see how this is going to affect you, okay? Or what maybe is coming kind of down the line from this. We start with this Justice or Adjustment card. It is, you have this attitude of like, okay, what goes around comes around, for one. You have this other attitude like there was this disrespect, this inconsideration, and you're not the one that has to restore the balance, okay? So you can be cold, stoic, stone-faced, because it's not up to you. You're not the one that has to rectify this situation. So for the world to be just, for the world to be fair, they have to make up for what they've done. They have to admit it, acknowledge it, and rectify it, okay? That's your sense of fairness, of justice, And it's not up to you to restore the balance. Okay, I think that's kind of the attitude that you're going with. And what I see in the environment is just, it's really deteriorating. All the love that we have with the water energy, right? This tree used to be really beautiful, really fruitful and loving and nurturing, provided shade and nourishment and fruit and all of this abundance. It's withering, it's decaying, it's dying, it's becoming toxic. And this card's in the position of your environment and of your relationship. So not putting blame anywhere. I don't know what happened or whose fault it is, okay? I'm on your side because this is your reading. And I feel like you were treated unfairly and unkindly, okay? But what I'm seeing in the situation or in the relationship is it's just deteriorating. It's becoming toxic, okay? It's becoming not good for anyone, right? What used to be a very loving, nurturing, supportive environment is now none of those things. Okay. What we see next, though, interestingly, is the 9 of Pentacles. This is in the position of your fears, worries, and concerns. I feel like you're worried it's not going to get any better, that this situation is not going to improve, that wholeness, that wellness, that vibrance is not going to come back. You know, that vital, the fire that really was the light and the heat that was nourishing the environment and keeping everything growing and warm and developing and abundant. You're worried it's not going to come back. The 9 of Discs is about the restoration of what we don't have, right? It's about something being added to us. So I think that that's your concern, is that there's going to be no progress here, and that the situation may just indeed continue to deteriorate. If something doesn't happen, if something isn't restored and provided inward, provided into the situation, this plant's going to die. This tree, this forest is going to decay and rot. Okay, so this is some really good plant food or something, you know. And without that, the situation is going to continue to get worse. Okay. Now, the next card is really positive, really wonderful. It's the Empress card. The Empress is nature. The Empress is really the result of this dying and this decay and this rot, and then fixing the soil, planting new seeds, regrowing this garden, and it is such a beautiful, wonderful, abundant, fruitful garden. It's just lush and lavish and wonderful. Okay? So what does this mean? Well, I think the end result, the projected long-term outcome, is a beautiful garden once again. Okay? But is it a matter of you just letting this current garden rot and decay and return to the soil, return to the earth, you know? Letting it die and then regrowing something new? Or is it something where you're going to save the relationship that you have now? You're going to save the situation and hope that it can be nursed back to health. Okay. That, I think, is the decision that the Justice Adjustment card has to kind of weigh. Do I let this one go, let it die, and start over, rebuild? Or can I save what we have now? Okay. And I think it really is that kind of it's a black or white thing. Like those are your options, really. You know? And I think a lot of this is going to depend on what you're willing to do. You know, if you're willing to bring out a little bit of your fire energy. And I know that doesn't seem fair, right? You didn't break it. Why should you fix it? You know? But sometimes we have to get over that sense of fairness and justice, because the world isn't fair. So I think looking at what you ultimately want, you want this really lavish garden, right? So is achieving this worth you sacrificing a little bit of your sense of fairness and justice and karma and, you know, and doing what you can to nurse this relationship, perhaps, back to health? Or is it in your best interest to let this one go and start over? You know? I don't know. I don't know. And the tarot cards aren't going to tell you what to do. Okay? Tarot cards aren't going to tell you what to do. And I think that's why at the very beginning we said, with the absence of fire, this is almost like you're going home to regroup. Okay? Don't make any decisions right now out in the open in the moment. Go consider things for a while. Go think about it. Meditate on it. You know? Let's look at the mystery card. With the mystery card, I feel like there is going to be a decision made. There is going to be clarity. There is going to be a plan, a moving forward. There is going to be progress. What is darkness now will become light. Okay, so what is decaying and rotted and withering away now, in the future we will have abundance, prosperity, lavishness, this lush garden. Okay, lush garden. So what card is going to symbolize that? Well, the death card maybe. But the death card, I think, would almost be making the decision for us, right? Saying that we got to just cut it all down. We've got to raise the fields, burn it down, let it die, fix the soil, and regrow it, right? That's the death card. Literally let this thing die and then and start over. So I don't think the death card. I think the Eon card, the Judgment card, right? Baptism by fire. That would work, but I think that would be making a decision in the other direction. That would be saying, move on from this, get over it, walk through the door, shut and lock the door behind you. The past is the past. Work on your future, right? So the Eon or the Death card, I think, would be the two options that we're weighing, the two decisions that we have to choose between. And that's not what this confirmation card will be. So my last guess, I think, is the Moon card. The Moon card. Because the Moon card represents a darkness now, a cold, frozen, nighttime landscape. It's not looking good. But there's clarity coming. There's a new morning coming, a new dawn, right? The sun is just about to crest over the horizon, and we have the clarity, we can make the decision, we can see the way forward. That's what we're looking for. Tarot's not going to decide one way or the other. It's going to indicate that there is a decision coming, but it's going to be up to you. Moon card, I guarantee it. Yeah, beautiful Moon card. So that clarity is coming, right? Your decision is coming. You'll see the way forward. You'll understand, and I think, like we said at the beginning, when you kind of go back home, regroup, think about it, meditate on it, the answer will come to you, and you'll learn, you'll receive the information, you'll understand what is the right thing for you to do, and you'll go ahead and do it. Okay, the tarot is basically giving you these two options, and I think it's up to you to kind of decide. Maybe you'll come up with a third option. You know, maybe something unexpected will happen. Sometimes the Moon card is talking about an unexpected change, right? There's something is just about to kind of crest over the horizon, right? That sun is just about to rise. There's going to be this clarity. This event is going to happen, but maybe it's something we're not expecting. Maybe it's not just door number 1, door number 2, right? Option A, option B. Maybe it's not that. Maybe there's a third option. Maybe there are many, many, many more options. The point is that clarity is coming, that you will see things in a new light come the morning, you know. So head inside, regroup, meditate on it, pray on it, consider it, you know, and the answer will come to you. The way forward will become illumined, right? And I will be keeping you in my thoughts and prayers. Sagittarius, thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If you want to check out the extended reading, click up here. And you can have access to all of the extended readings. Okay, we do them for the weekly and the monthly videos. And also, I encourage you to watch your other placements. Watch your solar, your lunar, your ascendant sign. Maybe in this case, you know, watch your Venus or your Mercury placements as well, you know. Anyway, thank you again for letting me read for you. This was your weekly reading, March 19th through 25th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.